You're born on the coast of Colombia, and your very first breath is drawn inside a bubble most people don't even know exists. Your nursery has a view of the Caribbean that millionaires would literally kill for. You grow up behind a wall of armed men your family calls Los Fantasmas, the ghosts, who keep you entirely isolated from whatever your father actually does for a living. On your 7th birthday, there's no cake, no clowns, just your father pulling you aside into his office. He kneels down, looks you dead in the eyes, and makes you swear a blood oath. See nothing, say nothing, forget nothing. You have absolutely no idea what it means. You just memorize the words, hoping to go back out to your party. By 15, curiosity gets the best of you. While everyone is distracted at the main house, you bribe a dock guard and steal your father's speedboat, a 40-foot cigarette boat with twin engines, a machine worth 8 figures. You punch the throttle, feeling alive for the first time in your bubble-wrapped existence. Then you see them in the shallows, a man and his son pulling nets. The boat doesn't turn in time. The impact is sickening. Wood splinters, bodies fly. You cut the engine, staring into the churning water. But there are no survivors. You've killed a father and his son for a momentary thrill. You panic, picturing handcuffs and your father's rage. But the handcuffs never come. Los Fantasmas arrive, quietly make some phone calls, and within hours, the Coast Guard is paid off. The fisherman's surviving family is compensated and relocated, with strict instructions to forget they ever had a husband or a father. By morning, the boat is repaired and the blood is scrubbed. Nobody yells, nobody lectures you. You survive a double homicide without a single scratch, and something inside your brain quietly shifts. You learn that rules belong to other people. Consequences are just another bill that money can pay. When things stabilize in the family business, they let you attend an elite international academy on the coast. You're surrounded by the children of diplomats and politicians. But you've never actually had to talk to people. You've only ever been served. You sit alone, completely invisible despite your expensive clothes and famous last name. You notice another rich kid buying popularity by flying classmates on private jets, so you apply the only logic you know. You buy the local arcade. You tell the owner to let everyone play for free and send the bill to your accountant. Suddenly, you have a crew. You're everyone's best friend. But a group of old money aristocrats refuses to play along. They look at you like narco trash playing dress-up. One afternoon, you try to prove you can survive without your security detail. You slip your guards, and those same aristocrat kids corner you behind a construction site. You offer them cash, watches, anything. They laugh, then beat you until your ribs crack, leaving you crying in the dirt like a stray dog. The lesson doesn't come from the beating, it comes that weekend. The parents of those boys, families with generational wealth, show up at your estate. They literally kneel in your father's living room. The mothers sob. The fathers tremble. They kiss your father's hand. They kiss your hand. They sign documents promising silence. And by Monday, those kids are shipped off to Swiss boarding schools forever. Alone in your room, you look in the mirror and smile. Any idiot can have cash. Real power is making the people who thought they were better than you crawl on their knees. You never want to feel weak again. You want to be the thing that makes other people scared. You drop out of school that same month. You stand before your father, ready to earn your seat. He hands you his grandfather's mother-of-pearl machete. Your education starts in the mud, riding along with veteran soldiers doing violent collections, watching them calmly explain to local business owners that fingers are negotiable, but loyalty is not. You realize terror is a business like any other. Supply and demand. You supply the fear, they demand the mercy. Simple economics. At 18, you cross the final threshold. A thief steals from a shipment, and the older soldiers hand you that same machete. Your hands shake. Your stomach heaves, but you swing it anyway. Afterward, there is no guilt. You feel powerful. You've completely killed your own empathy to secure your father's approval. Then the inevitable happens. A rival cartel known as the Northerners butchers your father's convoy on a mountain highway with RPGs and automatic weapons. They send pieces of him back in separate boxes. Suddenly, the throne is empty, and the empire is bleeding. You realize immediately that succession in this business is not inherited, it is taken. Your biggest threats aren't the rivals, they're your own bloodline. You tip off the DEA to your cousin's largest shipment. He dies in the raid, and your hands stay technically clean. Your uncle takes a car bomb on his morning commute, which everyone conveniently blames on the Northerners. Then you invite your older brother to a neutral ground peace summit. He shows up with white flags and hope in his eyes, and you have him shot before he even reaches the door. By Christmas, you sit in your father's chair, breathing in his lingering cologne. You are El Jefe, the boss of bosses. You won the crown, but the entry fee was stripping away every last piece of your humanity. And the terrifying part is, you feel incredibly proud of the monster you've become. The next decade is your golden age. Your empire stretches across 3 countries. You have so much cash you weigh it instead of counting it. Governors call you for permission. Senators send you birthday cards. You own the political class outright. You build hospitals, mansions, and churches. The villagers treat you like a patron saint, a modern Robin Hood. You start believing your own mythology. You look in the mirror and mistake the terrified compliance of a public for genuine, unconditional love. That is exactly when the rot begins. When your advisors warn you about emerging threats, you fire them. You call them weak and paranoid. You stop checking the shadows and surround yourself entirely with young sycophants who tell you you're untouchable. Your ego entirely detaches you from reality. By shutting out the truth, you break the very survival instincts that kept you alive. You're enjoying the view from the top, totally blind to the fact that your foundation has been completely hollowed out. The threat doesn't announce itself with a drive-by shooting. It grows quietly. A corporatized Mexican super-cartel. They have NBAs running logistics, hackers draining accounts, and elite lawyers operating in absolute silence. Your advisors warn you. They show you the numbers. Territory lost, shipments intercepted, accounts frozen. They're a swarm of termites, and they've been eating your foundation for years while you were busy admiring your reflection. The collapse happens overnight.
You wake up not to explosions, but to pure silence. The phones are dead, the security feeds cut out. In 12 hours, everything you spent 20 years building is erased. You grab a duffel bag of cash and a fake passport, slipping out through the service tunnels as your mansion burns. You run for the coast, cutting through the slums, completely stripped of your ghosts and your purchased invincibility. You're cornered by anonymous street addicts. These men see a weak, delusional target in expensive clothes. They laugh at your threats, then beat you with pipes, break your leg, and steal your shoes. You drag your broken body through the garbage toward the water. You pull yourself into the black, sucking mud of a mangrove swamp. The fever sets in, and the darkness creeping in from the edges. Your last thought isn't about the billions you lost or the empire that burned.
It's the look of disappointment on your father's face when you were 7 years old. You spent your entire life trying to make a ghost proud. Absolute power is an illusion you borrow, never own, and it leaves you dying in the mud.